Alright, what's on the docket today for reviews? Well, it looks like we got another Hiya 2021 Godzilla. So if I'm not mistaken, the review should be right over there. I think we got a little bit of a confusion. Oh yeah, I'll say. Can see Steve's Sailor Moon poster over there. Just dropping the immersion one skid at a time. Okay, so anyways, which one are we reviewing? Me. Okay, you know what, screw it. I think we should just order a new one. Yeah, that might just be our course of action. So if you guys like to pick one up for yourselves, link in the description for KowkisToys.com. Wait, didn't we already do a skip video for these people? Yeah, but they're kind enough to send us this one to do the video with, so we're just gonna keep that train going. So anyways, again, if you guys like to pick this up for yourself, link in the description. You can save 6% off using our code SteveKowkis. At checkout, we'll save yourself 6% off your order, which is 6%. It's a lot. But anyways, for all seriousness, we kind of have to get this video done today, so... Ooh, I know how. Who here's fought King Kong? Alright, one down. Man, Fred, you stupid con monkey. Okay, so this might be the most important one. I'm gonna need you to look up. And you know what? Problem solved. Steve, you mind taking care of this one? You know what? I guess. I got a special place for you now that we have this one. Steve, what did I ever do to you? Nothing really. Stop fighting it. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. I guess you can be a part of the video, but we're gonna talk about... Alright, you need to let go. Okay, seriously? As pertaining to the skit, I can't get this stupid thing out of here. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today in this review we have the updated version of the 2021 Hiya Godzilla figure, which is from Godzilla vs. Kong. We also have the Godzilla King of the Monsters one. But real quick, can you guys figure out which one it is? I'll give you like now. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I just moved these around. I had them set up, and actually I forgot to put the tablecloth down, and then I put them back down. They're actually out of order. So this one's the new one. This one's the original, and this one is the King of the Monsters version. And I figured with this review, because we kind of already gone over these each individually, kind of give you the reasons on why this is actually worth picking up, especially if you have just this one, which is the original release, which has the questionable neck articulation. It's fine. I thought it was fine when it came out. But there was a couple of things here where I was like, well, the Monster Arts is still fine compared to this one. But this one I would still say is probably like the best one to pick up for your King of the Monsters figures. But then they released this version here, which I probably should have grabbed the box so you guys can see. I think it's not in this office anymore. Okay, so real quick, if you guys want to know what the packaging looks like and how it's a little bit different, you'll see here that I actually kind of had to have it upright. But it actually is very vertical for this package. And you can kind of see the updated neck on the side of the box. And the picture looks a little bit more solid. You got the copyright legal mumbo jumbos on the back. But this is the package, so if you're looking for the second release of it, this is the one. But anyways, so first and foremost, let's get him out of the way, because I think between these guys, it's a little bit more arguable. If you have this one, do you really need this one? But if you have the original release, because one thing they did was do a really good job at updating the neck articulation. Since we've had a few versions of the 2019 come out, they definitely gotten to fix a lot of the issues, at least with like the neck articulation that they had for the first release. And the other thing that's really nice too is that they updated the face on it, which to me looks a lot better, especially with the teeth. Because one of the major nitpicks I've seen, especially with a lot of people online, is the way the teeth were on this and how it was painted isn't quite great. One other thing that's kind of nice too is that it doesn't have that unsightly hinge joint on the jaw that you see on the newer release, which is really good. Also, one thing that's really good too, that's a nice updated version, is that the detailing on the sides and just the detailing on the figure in general is a lot more crisp than what you have on the original release. Because you'll see here, like on the stomach, it's kind of soft here with the way the scaling is. Well, on here, it's a lot more defined. Same with the chest region too. Like everything just looks a lot more updated on this. And if we would have got like this release right off the get-go, I would have been even less inclined to keep my Monstars collection than I already was. Like I would have seen this and be like, instantly all my legendary Monstars would have been out the window. When I had to wait for a few releases in order to make my decision with that. Because this thing in particular, like articulation wise, it's mostly the same. Like the tail, you're still going to have the same amount of posability on this. You got to work it a little bit, but for the most part, it's not like you're getting that much in terms of updated articulation on this. It's primarily the neck and a lot of the detailing, because even this has this really nice... Well, I guess it's mostly the same as what we got with this one. There's a bit more of a brown dry brushing over top of this, which I think makes it stand out just a little bit more. Because you get a little bit of like the browns and the greens and the grays coming through on this one. Which does show up on this one. But not quite as noticeable. And then you also don't have the weird washes everywhere. Because you have a little bit of, again, the scaling here. And same with on the tail. It's got a little bit more of that sand coloring. But it's not really prevalent on the entire figure, which always kind of... Like, I thought it's fine, because it makes the detailing stand out, but it's just kind of weird that it's only in, like, certain sections on the original release. So, for the most part, if you have this one, I would highly recommend picking up this one in order to replace this guy. Which kind of sucks a little bit, if I'm going to be honest. Because you don't want to buy the figure and then be like, well, I got to... spend more money to get a better version of it. But it's like, it's such an improvement over this one that I would highly recommend picking this one up. Or say if you didn't get the original release, this one's kind of a home run in terms of just being a really solid action figure. But I'm kind of thinking, like, what could you do if you wanted to, if you had this and bought this, what could you do with the original one? Well, to be fair, you could always get some extra accessories for this guy. Because the way his neck is, you could probably get him actually doing the Hong Kong beam pose, which I do sell on the Etsy. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go check that out. But if you were able to get some like extra effects, he would still be a fun one to customize. And I know some people like swapped out the joints and stuff too. You can do that to make it a little bit better. But for the most part, if you're already collecting the line, I would definitely, if you had this one, I wouldn't even think about swapping the darn thing out. And if you didn't buy it, it's really sweet. For these two guys, on the other hand, because this one's the 2019. You got the 2021 here. The most noticeable difference that you see right off the get-go is this guy has that sand-colored wash prevalent throughout the entire figure. You'll see it here on the spines. You see it a lot on the tail. Same with on the legs. In the chest region. Like he definitely looks a lot more like he's been in the messing around on the beaches. While on the 2021 variant, it's... I guess cleaner? It's kind of odd to say, but he just looks like he's just came out of the water, and possibly even because he has some of the darker spots. Maybe he's got a little bit of algae hanging out on him. But for the most part, this one has a lot more color variety than what this one has. Also, one thing, at least on mine, is you'll notice here on the neck, it has the same amount of segmenting, but the detailing on this one isn't quite as crisp. It works, but it's definitely kind of prevalent on this. Because between the two, they're not exactly the same mold, which is something that's really nice too. If you want to if you want to have both versions of these guys, it gives you definitely more of a reason. While the detailing is very subtle, but some of the sections do appear to be a little bit different. Because you'll even notice here, there's like a little bit more of the gapping between the scales than what you see on this one. Same with the neck detailing, it's a little bit different. It's kind of hard to tell with because the heads definitely appear to be a little bit different. Yeah, especially at the top of the head. You can see here it pops out, and it's a lot cleaner edges than what you get on this one. Because I think the necks mostly look the same. It's pretty much like each release that they've gone with, like, he still has got a little bit of softer details, but definitely a lot better than the first release of the 2021. And then we get this guy who's even, it's like the sharpness is just upgraded per figure. So if you already have this one, it's still nice to pick this one up because you'll work better with your con. You'll have this one to go fight your King Ghidorahs. So it's definitely nice to have more options. If you only had to pick one, like, say you haven't picked up any of them at all, I would still probably go with this one. Because I do like the wash, but like I said, the detailing on this one is just a little bit more crisp than what's on here. And I think you're just going to have a lot less complaints with this one. Because even this one, really like it, but the detailing on the neck could be a little bit better. And then I do really like the wash, but it kind of offsets a couple of things. So it's still good, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with this one. But you also have the alternate color variants too, like the heat ray one and the exploding. But I almost always recommend, like, at least for me, I think the effects ones are sweet, but if I only had to have one, I kind of want just basic Godzilla, and then maybe I can get a hold of a beam eventually. Like, I make my own beam, so I can get it to work. Because the other ones are like very scene specific. Well, this one's just like generic Godzilla hanging out on your shelf. For some quick comparisons, here's some figures that are getting some reviews in the near future with the SH Monster Arts Iris. Almost said Figure Arts because that's the Figure Arts out looking, and I was just, in my brain, it was like they're both the same, but they're not. And here is the Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla -1 figure and the Hiya Toys Godzilla vs. Kong Kong, which I don't know why, but after I moved him around to do posing, and now I can't get his arms back together in order to hold the axe, which is a little frustrating. Gonna have to fudge around with that a little more. Now, here it is, some recently reviewed figures with the Fearow Predator from Prey and the Hiya Toys Heat Ray Godzilla 2021. And then for some random comparisons, here it is with the Titanic Creations Gorgo figure and this random Gremlin plushie that is actually Casey's, but she kind of left it downstairs. I want to say it's technically maybe. Oh, Toy Factory. I lied. So we still did the comparisons. You guys would have saw this previously to this, but instead of just doing the normal showcasing this particular figure, I think it helps a lot more to see some of the other ones to compare themselves. Just so you know how it's going to look at your collection with all your other stuff. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with channel, donate, greatly would appreciate it. And again, if you guys like to pick this figure up for yourself, link in the description for KowkisToys.com. You can also save 6% off your order with the code Steve Kowkis, and they also do free shipping. And oh yeah, and the code 6% off. So definitely recommend going and check them out. And because they get them from China, they also get in faster than most of the other stateside retailers. Like, I had the Heat Ray Godzilla even before they, even before most places like I already had in my collection before they were even taking it off a pre-order. So, anyways, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.